It's been a prevalent notion, fallen sparks, fragments of vessels broken at the creation, and someday, somehow before the end, a gathering back to home, a messenger from the kingdom, arriving at the last moment. But I tell you, there is no such message, no such home, only the millions of last moments, nothing more. Our history is an aggregate of last moments. Gravity's Rainbow is set in a time period during the 1940s when World War II is beginning to disintegrate. A man named Tyrone Slothrope is assigned a post under the command of an organization known as the Firm. Now, this location was previously known as a mental institution, but is now full of Pavlovian scientists who are conducting experiments based on conditioned stimulus. One of the most well-known scientists there being Dr. Edward Pointsman. Now, Slothrope is particularly interesting to Pointsman because it is known that before each German missile launch, Slothrope becomes involved in sexual acts of sorts, which leads Pointsman to conclude that Slothrope has the ability to predict such acts. Now, after these experiments begin to intensify, Slothrope grows increasingly paranoid and is allowed on these certain holidays that are administered by Pointsman. On one of these holidays, Slothrope travels to the south of France where he meets a woman named Katie Bourgeois, who is under attack by an enormous octopus. Now, once Slothrope finds out that this octopus attack was staged by Pointsman, he runs for his dear life and disappears into the zone, otherwise known as mainland Europe. His assumption is that if he can gather information on the source of a rocket, specifically the German A4, that he can trade this information as freedom from Pointsman. While on his conquest, he encounters a variety of different events ranging from sexual debacles to drug deals to severe hallucinations. Due to his various changes in personality and costume, Slothrope ultimately slips into a pretty dangerous set of events. He lives in a bombed-out building with an apprentice witch and later escapes on a hot air balloon. He uses a fake ID to cross border checkpoints, and in one situation, he even pretends to be a liberator pig dog in a village and escapes in the pig costume later in the story. Now, after so many different transformations, Slothrope's true self ceases to exist, and he loses his willpower to find information on the rocket. His final refuge is the mountains, where he becomes one with nature and learns to play an ancient harp. All the while that this is happening, others are seeking various goals. A random military group is trying to build a second rocket, Pointsman searches for Slothrope, and a variety of other characters are embarking on their own love stories. Now, at the end of the novel, there is a very influential and inspiring quote that not only explains the theme of the novel, but also its literature style. Now, it goes like this. The basic problem, he proposes, has always been getting other people to die for you. What's worth enough for a man to give up his life? That's where religion had the edge. For centuries, religion was always about death. It was used not as an opiate so much as a technique. It got people to die for one particular set of beliefs about death. It was a good pitch while it worked, but ever since it became impossible to die for death, we've had a secular version, yours. Die to help history grow to its predestined shape. Die knowing your act will bring a good end a bit closer. Revolutionary suicide, fine. But look, if history's changes are inevitable, why not die, Václav? If it's going to happen anyway, why does it matter? Now, from analyzing this quote, and just from reading the book in general, I believe that Gravity's Rainbow most closely aligns itself with existentialist sets of beliefs. The post-apocalyptic world, in combination with the disparities of Slothrope and the general gloominess of the setting, contribute to the existentialist ideas of chaoticness and subjectivity. The technologically advanced and sophisticated world that is portrayed leads to the alienation of many characters in the book. Although this pessimistic view is challenged by glimmers of a bright tomorrow, there is undoubtedly an existentialist aura present. Gravity's Rainbow is an incredibly complex novel, and whether or not someone completely understands its contents, it doesn't take away from the fact that it provides something for everyone that reads it. Thank you for joining me for another installment of Book Talks with Connor. I'll see you next time.